And after 3 treatments, that lymph node was gone. I mean, you could not find it nowhere. So my doctor said, I think I'm going to do a PET scan. He was going to wait until the 4th one, but he did one after the 3rd. And we got it back, and it was 100% free, you know, of cancer. So you've got to follow God's voice, and if you will listen. I had people to tell me, well, since you're cancer-free, why are you going to go get the other 2 treatments? Because my doctor always did 2 treatments after a clear PET scan. And a lot of physicians do that. But I had people to say that to me, why don't you just stop now? And I prayed about it, and God was telling me, don't stop now. Go and do this whole thing. You know, the full, complete 6 treatments.
Right.
So I would say, I've got to do what God says, and I've got to do what my doctor says. And they'll guide you. If you listen, God will guide you, and your physician will guide you.
Don't you think a lot of times that people go through like a fear stage and a panic, almost like a panic stage, you know, when they're diagnosed with cancer? Fear just automatically just comes all over them.
It does. The first thing that you think of is, I'm dying. I'm dying. There's no hope for me. But you find the right help, and you start to see this little bit of hope. And you always know, if you're a Christian, you always know you've got hope in God.
Right.
Even if you don't survive that, you still, on the other side, you're perfect. But you see this little ray of hope once you get to the physician, and he starts doing all these tests, and maybe he'll say, you've got cancer, you've diagnosed with cancer. But then you get there, and it's not so bad. Could be in first stage, low grade, something like that, that can be taken care of with just a few treatments. And so don't panic whatsoever. Just don't panic, and trust in God, and find the right health resource.
You know, I've been in the ministry a long time for God's glory, and I've seen different situations, and I've heard different testimonies. I've seen some people instantly healed of cancer. No treatment, no having to go to the doctor or whatever. Then I've seen people that had to go on and take the steps, you know, go through the process, you know, be treated, the chemotherapy. But still yet, the whole time, they were holding on to Jesus. They were holding on to their faith.
Yes,
you know,
you have to.
God does heal, and it's His process. You know, sometimes you might need a treatment. But, you know, the thing about it is, you can be somebody with that testimony. She has got a testimony that she's went through this. And I know the gentleman that sings in your group, he's got a testimony.
He does. He had prostate cancer, which is very common in men anymore. So they need to have that checked. You know, always go for the blood work and the tests that you need for that. And but he has a testimony. I have a testimony, and there's just millions out there that has testimonies to give for God's glory, because He does heal.
And I noticed that a lot of times at the Knox County Cancer Patient Fundraisers, a lot of people gather there and they tell their testimony. Sometimes they'll have a survivor, you know, talk about the survivors. And even when the survivors just stand up, they ask all the cancer survivors just stand up. You get that feeling, that inside feeling that, praise God, look what, you know, God has done for these people.
That's exactly right.
And it's just such a powerful thing. You know, a lot of people's not seen the effects of cancer. Cancer will absolutely just eat you up. You know,